I bought a business for just $50,000 down that made over $400,000 of profit in the first 12 months. So I'm going to break this deal down and give you a step-by-step guide that you can copy. My name is Brian Beers. My company owns, operates, and invests into franchises. Today, we own a portfolio of over 30 locations in multiple industries that does over $42 million in revenue. So for those who don't know, franchising provides a shortcut to owning a business. You've got the franchisor, like McDonald's, who creates a brand. They write the playbook, they handle the marketing, they provide training and support and all this stuff. And then you've got franchise owners, this is me, and we rent the business model from the franchisor. So we pay royalties to operate the business. We hire and train the team to follow the playbook that they wrote. And my focus as a franchisee is execution, driving sales, and controlling my margins. And as a franchisee, I'm an independent business owner who agrees to operate within a set of rules set by the franchisor. People mistakenly think that you need millions of dollars to become a large multi-unit franchise owner, but the truth is that you can get started for a lot less and then scale through acquisition, through new development, and ultimately by compounding your profits. So all right, let's get into this deal. So one of my companies operates auto repair franchises in the Philadelphia area. And when a franchisee wants to sell, they prefer to sell to a neighboring franchisee. This happens in every single franchise system because it is much easier and usually a much smoother transaction to sell to another franchisee than to deal with an outsider, like some random guy off Biz Buy Sell who doesn't know anything. They ask a million questions. It's a lot harder than me, who understands the business and I own 30 other ones, right? Think about that. And as a franchisee, this creates a huge pool of off-market deals. There are no listing agents. There's no bidding war in a lot of cases. A lot of times it's just one friend selling to another friend. And so I've been a franchisee in this brand for almost 15 years and have intentionally built a solid reputation and strong relationships with other franchisees in the system. And then from there, I plant seed. I let them know, hey, when you're ready to sell, I'm ready to buy. And so this was one of those things where I had met this person and I built a relationship and they were ready to retire. And I was the first and the only call. This location opened in 2005 and it was impressively stable at about $1 million per year in sales since 2011. Its best, it did $1,075,000, and at its worst, it did right around $950,000, but it was pretty stable, about $1 million a year. And it was generating roughly $100,000 in profit, which is roughly a 10% margin on the sales, which is a little low, but it's not crazy. And the owner was asking 5 times. They wanted $500,000 as a purchase price to buy the business. Now, normally we value acquisitions like this one somewhere around 2.5 to 3 times earnings, giving us a purchase price of $250,000 to $300,000. Now, she was asking almost double what we thought it was worth. And so we couldn't come to an agreement. And so we put this deal on ice for about 6 months, because they were stuck on $500,000. And I was stuck on my ego of saying, well, that's too much. I'm not paying that. And, I let it pass for a while, which ended up being a huge mistake, because you'll hear about it in a second. Then, so we own 5 other shops around this location. So it fit perfectly into our footprint. And over the years, we've found that there's a lot of synergies when you own a consolidated group of locations in a market. We can ensure better customer experience since we control the brand in that region. We can negotiate better pricing with local vendors since now they can service multiple locations instead of just one. And then it becomes easier to transfer and promote employees internally, right? We have a technician who becomes an assistant manager, who becomes a store manager, who maybe even becomes a district manager. And we have some crazy returns by investing into our own business. We can instantly create value and increase cash flow. It's not like buying real estate or stocks or whatever, where the returns are relatively fixed. Eventually, I go back to the seller and I said, if you're going to set the price, then I'm going to set the terms. And so my offer was $50,000 down, right? So that was our down payment. We paid that in cash. And then I'd give her $4,000 a month, right? For the next 144 months, right? So 12 years. So in total, we'd pay $576,000 all in. right? And that's inclusive of the principal and the interest. And I had figured if nothing changed, I'd get all my money back in the first year. And this is how I came to that. So we had a $50,000 down payment, right? So that was my down payment I was making to her. And I figured, hey, this business has been doing about $1 million a year for the last 12 years, and it's generating probably about $100,000 per year for the last 12 years, right? And I would have roughly, $50,000 a year in debt payments, right, to her. And so worst case, if nothing changes, the business does $100,000 in profit. I've got my, $50K in debt payments. And so I would generate about a $50,000 a year in additional cash flow, which would be a 100% return, on my initial investment. So I figured my downside on this deal was 100% return, right? So if nothing changed and I just kept the boat steady, I'd get all of my money back in the first year. So I'd figured worst case scenario, I'd make $50,000, I'd get all my money back in the first year. And now we own this business that continues to make at minimum $50,000 a year, plus we're paying down the debt, plus, we get these synergies and all these other things. And so, we came to an agreement. She agreed on those terms. We did the deal. And if you want to learn more about structuring and negotiating seller finance deals, check out my other video that I did where it was a deep dive about seller financing, and I gave a ton of tips on how to find and do your first one. The morning after we close, the owners let the employees know that the business has been sold, and she introduces us as the new owners. And, we don't want employees to learn about a sale until it's finalized and that we can physically be present, because everyone is always nervous they're going to lose their jobs. And most of the time, when you buy a business, what you're actually buying are the assets of the business, not the company itself. So technically, we start with 0 employees and need to offer all of the previous owners' employees jobs with my company at the same place that they were working the day before. And we always plan to offer all the existing employees a job on day one at their current pay rates, because we're fearful if we don't that everyone will quit if they know about the sale too soon. And now we just paid for this business that has no staff and we're starting from 0. So in day one, we get everybody together in a circle and we tell them, about us and our history, and we tell them what's going to happen next. We try to put them at ease by talking about our track record of success and our plans for the shop. And so the truth is, we need all of these employees and do our best to ensure a smooth transition. We get everybody on a performance-based compensation plan, so they could all work the same 40 hours a week or whatever and make a lot more money if they produce more. And because our philosophy is to give them all the tools and all the resources, and then we set expectations. And overnight, this business changed like we flipped on a light switch. The store went from doing $20,000 of sales per week to $30,000 to $40,000 of sales per week almost immediately. The sales increased 50% in the first 12 months. And so what did we change? Remember, it's the same location, but more importantly, it's the same core team. Like, we didn't change the people. It was the same manager. It was the same technicians. Instead, we helped unlock the potential that they had within them. The previous owner, she was happy with the results. She was happy with $1 million a year or whatever for the last 12 years, and nobody was pushing them to do more. But we have shops doing $2 million, $3 million, and we saw huge potential in this location, in these people, and we showed them what was possible. And guess what? They drank the Kool-Aid. They bought into our vision and plan for the store. And we also invested in technology, like, we updated all the computers and we got new phones and some of the technical equipment they needed. And a lot of the money from those increased sales fell to the bottom line. So in the first year, we took the annual profit from $100,000 to over $400,000 after making those debt payments. So that $50,000 down that we made in April turned into $400,000 in our bank account the following April. That is the power of owning a franchise business. For us, we didn't do anything special at this location. It was just a rinse and repeat of a playbook that we are experts at operating. It's one that we've operated for years, because the franchisor provides the playbook. They give tools, they help with training, they give you a brand, they help with marketing, they give you the resources, but it's still up to you to go make it happen. And what I've learned is that every franchise is in the people business that just happens to fix a car, paint a house, make burgers, take care of grandma, whatever it is. And you make a lot of money by building a great team, holding them accountable to follow that process that you're paying for, and then inspire them to push beyond their comfort zone. And buying a franchise means you're buying a business. And as a business owner, you have the ability to create a culture and do whatever you want. Like every day that you wake up, you're focused on having an impact, driving sales, and helping your people grow. Like you can't do that in real estate, right? In real estate, you need to invest a ton of money to remodel apartments and add amenities and paint and signage and value add stuff that takes like months or years to do it. And you have interest rates and personally guaranteed debt and all this stuff. But like in a business, like you can create a ton of value for little to no money. Like it costs you absolutely nothing to inspire your team, to help them see the vision of what's possible. It costs nothing to bring energy and excitement to a job. It costs nothing to smile and tell them they're doing great and show them what is possible based on other people in your organization who are doing the exact same thing and having that success, right? There's this playbook. We're executing it. These guys are having success. We want you to have success. Here's the playbook. Go talk to John. He's doing it, right? It makes it so easy and simple to understand. And this applies to all businesses. It's not just franchising, right? Franchise just makes it easier, makes it quicker. Like there's a bunch of things I don't have to worry about because they worry about those things. And I can just focus on driving sales and operations, building my team, and that kind of stuff. So if I can do it, you can do it. And to learn more about franchising, check out my free coaching program. It's linked below. I host live group calls. I've got a course. And if you're really serious, you can work with somebody on my team to explore franchises that may fit your goals and your skills and your budget and make sense for you. So I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.